Hey, all right. Again, this video is for the self-paced individual that's trying to get a little bit of auditorial dialogue with the visual reading that you're doing. So let's bring up the PowerPoint and let's take a look at the next slide is what is a conventional loan? There are two types of conventional loans. There's Fannie Mae and there's Freddie Mac. They are the two basic conversations when you're talking about conventional. Now, it will get convoluted and you'll hear other people in the industry go, I have a conventional loan, it's not Fannie and Freddie, and that will happen. But again, not subject matter experts. We're just trying to get a basic knowledge of what we're doing here so that way we can better have the conversations moving forward. Two types, Fannie, Freddie. They operate under the primary, secondary, and investment homes, okay? So you can do any of those types of transactions within the Fannie and Freddie guideline. Understanding government usually doesn't allow any kind of investment property whatsoever unless you're living in it as a part of a primary conversation. So this is your first go-to for investment properties, second homes. Then you'll pivot over to non-QM if you can't make it work. The minimum entry for all conventional loans is 3% down borrower contribution. That is for a true first-time home buyer. That means that they have never owned a home, or they haven't owned a home in the last 3 years in their name, or they could be coming from a divorce, or they could be other situations that apply that they can use a 3% down. But just for you guys, just for knowledge base, 3% is the minimum contribution required to enter into a conventional loan. Anything after that's going to be 5%. MI for these loans is negotiable. There's different ways to do MI here. With FHA, with USDA, with VA, it's this or that. With conventional, there's options. You can do lump, you can do monthly, you can do financed versus non-financed, you can do lender paid versus non-lender paid, you can do single premium. You can split the difference any way that you want to, all the way down to putting 20% down, not having to pay it at all. So there are lots of options with MI with conventional loans, not to exclude the fact that it falls off once you get to 78% LTV automatically, or if you can prove with an appraisal that you're at 80%. So with FHA, that mortgage insurance is usually there for a substantial amount of time, but always a minimum of 11 years, right? And finally, this is the most common loan being asked for by listing agents. When they see that pre-approval letter come across their desk and it says conventional loan, it's almost a stamped approval. Let's go ahead and sell this. Let's go ahead and sell this house to that buyer. Conventional loan, that'll be easy. We can handle that. Without knowing any basis of what the loan is going to require, they just feel that way because the majority of the transactions that go through conventionally are pretty straightforward. It doesn't mean your buyer is. So as we dive deeper into conventional loans, you'll kind of understand why we should take certain buyers conventional, why we shouldn't, and why you shouldn't be afraid of going other places other than conventional. But for the cheapest loan, for the cheapest closing cost, for the cheapest MI, for the most flexible lending, conventional is a great place to start. All right, Mortgage Monday, here we go. We're going to kick it off with another training class on conventional loans. See you in a minute.